We'll take one other question before any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Our company is very similar to what you guys are doing. My question is why do you feel that more companies, this seems so simple, it's a very simple thing. Why do you feel that other companies just don't do it?
That's a great question. Just to repeat it in summary, what you've heard in some respects sounds very simple. So why don't more companies commit to the kind of discipline that we've heard about in the last half an hour, 40 minutes? Go ahead.
But this is just a Wanda theory. So many people have been trained and everything comes from a book. And I don't, I'm educated, but I learned everything I learned just by living and doing. And I think so many people get caught up in a business plan and a bottom line that they lose focus on what's important. And what's important, as he said earlier today, is passion, it's purpose, and it's knowing that you have the power to create something great and to help others do the same. And once you realize that, you'll start to do business differently. But when you get caught up in how everyone says it should be done, based on step A through step 10, build a business plan, make this by this, or do that, this is what creates success, is this. No, you have to define what success is for you. And I defined what that was for me, and then put that into the business. So it's never been a dollar amount. Now, I'm not saying I haven't enjoyed the money. Don't misunderstand. But I don't love the money. It's a difference. I respect the money. I honor it for what it's worth, but I don't love it. I love the people and the purpose and the passion.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah, I think, when it comes to what you're doing and what your business is doing, don't take so much pride in how you're doing it right now. We've won a lot of awards and whatnot, and that's terrific, but we're only as good as we are tomorrow. And we're only as good as the next customer thinks we're good. And we have to re-earn it every day. And I came in to run the business about 3.5 years ago, and we have disassembled and rebuilt every part of our business. And we're just not going to stop doing that. Now, sometimes to be able to do that effectively, you have to kind of stop the momentum of what you're doing. And to answer your question, I think, why don't people do it? I think some people get so caught up in the momentum. Sometimes you have to make payroll. Sometimes there's a competitor that's breathing down your neck. Sometimes you lost a person and you get in this hurry-up mode. And it's actually, if you can get your team occasionally, build them full of confidence and say, guys, folks, we can slow down a little bit. Slow down. Let's disassemble this process and rebuild it. And then we'll disassemble this process and rebuild it. And it just literally live and breathe continuous improvement, and let your people be the ones who lead it, right? Let them be the ones who innovate, because then they own the process and they will fight to improve a process that they created. But I think you have to be willing to stop, disassemble, and then reassemble, and you have to do it all the time. If you want to get good and stay good, you have to be willing to rewrite every chapter time and time again.
Thank you. Kristina, anything to add?
Well, I would just have to add that you can't be in it for the money, and if you're in it for something else, then, and what I mean by that is that I do what I do because I love my job. It's not like going to work when I go to work every day. I just love what I do. I can't imagine doing anything else for a living, and so when you take that angle to your career and your company and your employees, and you want them to love it as much as you do, I think you can make something greater than yourself. And I think a lot of the companies out there today are just trying to stay in business, and they're cutting expenses everywhere they can, and they're not really looking at the big picture, and it's a tough economy. So it's hard really to keep your eye on the bigger picture.
Sure.